this man Gurdjieff. I think that of all the masters I've read about, I really think that Gurdjieff stands out as the most interesting to me. And as you know, he didn't want to be called a master. And that's why he led for 21 years what was called a blameworthy life instead of a praiseworthy life. He didn't want people to venerate him or bow down to him as a great master. A very great enigma, and it's absolutely true. What the hell? Nobody seems to have a clear idea what this man stood for. Gurdjieff had come close to losing his life once in an automobile accident in France. And he was unconscious, lay on the road for several hours, I guess, before he was picked up by a gendarme. And it was really thanks to the gendarme that his life was saved. He waits about 3 years before ever rendering thanks to the gendarme. Then he tells him to come to Fontainebleau. He wants to honor him with a banquet for having saved his life. Well, the gendarme had forgotten all about it long ago. Anyhow, he did come, and he was not a drinking man. He drank his little glass of wine with dinner, but no alcohol. And Gurdjieff, as you know, loved Armagnac. He loved old, strong liquors, and he could drink like a fish. So he kept saying to the gendarme, now, please, this Armagnac won't hurt you, and it's in honor of you. We simply want to toast you. Take it. And the gendarme shakes it. No, I can't do it. I can't drink it. And Gurdjieff said, now look. And he calls the young boy who wrote that book about him, Fritz Peters, who was then 13 years old. Now he says, watch, I'm going to give him a glass of Armagnac to drink, and you'll see, nothing will happen to him. And he fills a bumper glass of Armagnac, hands it to the boy, who obediently gulps the whole thing down at once. A powerful administration. Well, the boy is really out on his feet. He's serving the table, but he's skating around. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he's doing everything properly, you know, automatically. It's only 5 hours later, when he goes to bed, that he knows he's dead drunk. And then he vomits, you know, and is sick and falls over the bed. That's the sort of thing that Gurdjieff could do, huh? I suppose that here is where people linger maybe the longest, especially women, I think. I don't know why. This fellow in the center is a really phenomenal friend of mine named Florian Steiner. Well, he's a bit, like myself maybe, obsessed with sex. And here he's got his friends lined up with their asses exposed, and he himself grinning at us in his very familiar smile. It's wonderful. And of course, this is his little nephew, photographed when Sexes first came out. Everybody loves it. This is my good friend Emil White in Big Sur. Now here, he arrives one day, a school teacher who's a virgin, and he fell in love with her, I believe. And so he got her, surprisingly enough, to pose for this. People always say, is it real or is that a statue? You could take it for a statue, couldn't you? But the wonderful thing is the expression on his face. He doesn't look like a man who's holding a naked woman, does he? He looks sorrowful there and meditative, reflective, as though he was far away from her and her rich backside there, huh? It's a wonderful trio. But there's one here, Tom, too, that I want to tell you a little about. I am very fascinated by these two. This is a Chinese actress, I forget her name, a young woman. And that's a Japanese entertaining girls in a bar, maybe. But if you notice, both have the full face, full cheeks, and very luscious, big lips. The lips that you want to bite when you see. And I think on this girl, the expression in her eyes is beautiful. It's something melancholy there. Huh? Ah, very good, very good. Yeah. So that's the kind of babies you have here, huh? Very good. All in one piece, too, huh? Mm. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Mm. You may have noticed that I have a number of photos of the Buddha from various countries, by the way. Cambodia, Siam, Burma, I think. I don't know where these all come from. But at any rate, I've all my life been fascinated by the Buddha, the story of his life, and this smile, this seraphic or beatific smile that you see always on the Buddha. It's an inscrutable smile, but it always denotes a great inner peace. You may notice the absence of something here. I have no religious iconography, as it were, from the Christian world. Though they talk about peace a great deal, the Christians, you see, to me they don't exemplify it. And even Jesus, I mean, the representations we have of Jesus don't inspire me with this same feeling of fulfillment, inner security and inner peace and radiance that the Buddhas always emanate. For some reason, I'm fascinated with this Gauguin. This is the early Gauguin. It's a beautiful tonality throughout and a very wonderful expression, too, on his face. Yes. Up here probably is Gauguin's most famous painting, a triptych, I believe. And what fascinates me about it, particularly, are the words that he inscribed at the top of the canvas. Where do we come from? Who are we? And where are we going? Eternal questions never answered, unanswerable. Now, it may seem trivial, perhaps, to say that in some way this connects up in my life with this matter of identity. I seem like I'm in, I have all my five senses, and I'm not dotty yet, even though I'm 81. But throughout my life, and especially in my dream life, I'm harassed by this question of identity. Who am I? Often I don't know where am I. Probably I never ask where I'm going. But I think the first time it happened, or one of the times when I was in my early 20s, I was on an elevated station in Brooklyn. I was going to get a bit of Wrigley's gum out of the slot machine. And as you know, there's a little mirror there that you look into as you push the button. As I did that, put the money in, pushed the button, I'm looking at it, and it's another face. I was hallucinated. And I looked again, still that same strange, mysterious face. Now, fortunately, I was on my way to a burlesque show. And when I got down in the street and I entered the theater, why, it had all disappeared. But this recurs to me more vividly, more strongly in dreams. I have veritable nightmares frequently, and it's always the same theme. It's that I was shaving, perhaps. I looked in the mirror. It's another face. I go crazy. I'm in the insane asylum, and I'm in there an interminable length of time. I don't know what is happening. I don't know who I am, that especially. And I'm just a nut like all the others. Finally, I escape. It's a heroic job to escape, to get over the walls. And then when I get over, I breathe a sigh of relief. I think everything's fine. I see a couple coming down the street, and I wave, and I begin to talk to them, and they look at me, and it's obvious they don't know what language I'm speaking. So I'm still mad. Then I wake up, usually. Now I know. Now I know where I am and who I am. Back in that old shithole, New York, where I was born.